Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Aldous Joe Hansel with you here. A little change in the forecast for us today. Remain focused and take your necessary precautions for an extended stretch of well above average heat and humidity. A heat wave underneath a strong ridge, heat dome in place today. Eastern Panhandle and central and western areas of the state, heat advisories and extreme heat warnings for an extended stretch. Today, we're up to an extreme heat risk in some western areas of the state, including Charleston. That heat risk goes up to extreme when the heat and humidity is either rare and or prolonged. Likely dry today. Some patchy fog in the mornings with some very warm lows too, with little to no relief during those overnight lows. Had a high 92, low at 71 in Charleston yesterday. That was 6 degrees above average yesterday. The temps and the humidity will generally still be here or increase in the days ahead. Our extreme heat warning in Charleston lasts until 10 p.m. Friday. Fly Saver forecast, it starts at home. Many of these cities here have concerns with heat too. Washington, D.C., 102 on Thursday, 103 Friday. Looking ahead on the 4th of July in D.C., they're forecasting 101. That would be their hottest 4th of July on record, so we'll see how that shapes up. Northern Panhandle, you have an extreme heat warning as well. Low to upper 90s for the highs, but higher with the heat index. The heat index value is potentially listed up to 108 in Charleston. Eastern Panhandle, you have heat advisories today. Extreme heat watches for Thursday, Friday. Central western areas, extreme heat warnings. Take those proper precautions with the heat. Huntington, you're near 97 for your high today. Peak heat index listed up to 108 in the warning. Charleston, upper 90s through Friday. Still hot and humid for the 4th. And watching a chance of some showers and storms that may favor the evenings and overnights. 95 on Saturday, 73 Saturday night. And still some 90s in there with chances of showers and storms for Sunday and Monday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It is a Wednesday edition of Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Nothing but your calls and text. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Coming up a little bit later on, major announcements in the world of broadcasting at this company, WVRC Media. The Mountaineers are back on several stations around the state of West Virginia, several of the WVRC Media stations. We're going to talk to the president of the company, George Pelletier, about that coming up a little bit later on, what it means for Mountaineer fans everywhere. And then we'll get to Open Line West Virginia as well. Well, July 1st is the date that a lot of laws in West Virginia go into effect. Some went in right after passage, some go in July 1st. One of those, I believe, is the our new regulations on vaping. Delegate David McCormick worked hard on this. He serves out of Mon County, and he joins us now. Delegate McCormick, good afternoon, and welcome to the show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me. I'm traveling in my car, so there goes an ambulance. So maybe you heard that. So anyway, thanks for having me on. Yeah, the vape bill takes effect today, and something I've worked long and hard on. Been a lot of planning with the ABC Commission. They're the folks policing this. I've been on here several times on your show and talked about it and various other shows. And just to refresh your readers or your listeners' memory, This is the Vape Safety Act, and basically what we're trying to do is get rid of all the bad actors all these vape shops selling to kids all over the state. There's licensing regulations. There's marketing regulations. Can't be within so far of a church or school. There's product registration regulations. So we're really cracking down on all this illegal activity that's going on in these vape shops that have infiltrated every community in our state. There's 5 in downtown, 5 or 6, 5 on High Street, downtown Morgantown. I can tell you that. And so the ABC is going to be the police, and they're doing the licensing. And they told me yesterday as they've been going around checking, and they're going to check them all, they've already found some of them have already closed. And my best guess is they know that they're not going to pass a background check, or they're not going to be able to operate. So hopefully the bad actors get weeded out of this little cottage industry, and we can help protect our kids.
And we do want to make sure that people understand, and you talked about this in the past, Delegate McCormick, is that this is not about outlawing vaping, or this is about going after bad actors and putting regulations. And look, most, if not all, of the big chains that you see, and you can fill in the name here of any convenience store or whatever, most of those folks are already doing it right anyway. That's not who you're going after.
Oh, that's right. It's the bad actors, like I said. I mean, if you've got a vape shop or a convenience store and you're following the rules and you're not emailing and texting kids and selling Cookie Monster vape cartridges with 30 times the nicotine in it that's allowed by the FDA, then your business is going to be fine. And I know people that have vape shops, and they're not going to lose their licenses or businesses. They do things the right way. But more than often than not, we've got people out here that don't. And that's what we're looking to change. And I feel confident that I'm excited about it. It may not be perfect. We will see. That remains to be fleshed out. So far, we've gotten great cooperation from the ABC, from the tax office, from agriculture commission, agriculture commissioner, in his office, because they regulate the kratom. Because kratom is a plant, and it's regulated by ag. But the vape stuff, the liquid vape and all that, is going to be regulated by the ABC. So I'm really thrilled about it. There's been, I'll just say this. There's very few issues in bills that get worked on by the House and Senate at the same time that are bipartisan and everybody wants to happen and everybody agrees on. And this fell into that category. And it wasn't just me. I've never tried to take all the credit. There was about a half a dozen on each side of the Capitol that worked on this. The governor signed it. Credit to him. And it's one of those few things that everybody agrees on. So I was happy to spearhead it.
It should be one of those things that maybe when you get into these contentious arguments over budgets or whatever the case is, Delegate McCormick, you just look at them and go, hey, we did the other thing. We can do this. We all work together.
Right.
Remember the vape. That could be your new motto. Remember the vape.
Remember the vape. That's right. I love it. But this proves that that's still possible. You're right. And we're just trying to protect our kids. A lot of them are getting hooked on this stuff. It's how this all started. I got a call from a constituent whose grandson was had grown awful fond of this stuff, and it just went the wrong direction. And the marketing to these kids is literally criminal now. And if me or you wants to go in there and buy a vape pen, and that should be totally fine. But when you're going after 7th graders, which is what's happening, and and kids in high school or whatever, that's and there's another facet of this I'm not afraid to mention. I have before, but I've talked to the DEA. There's a lot of illegal activity going on in these vape shops. They're not really vape shops. They're like fronts for other activity.
Right.
And so there is a big anti-drug message that needs to be told here also, I think. And there's a lot of ancillary benefit that's going to come from this legislation that was passed. So, again, just proud to be out in front of it. I hope everybody understands that we're going after the bad actors and not your legitimate business owners.
All right. Delegate David McCormick, I know you got a busy schedule. I appreciate you joining us today. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for having me, Dave. Anytime.
All right. And again, I think it bears repeating what Delegate McCormick said, and the others that worked on this as well, is that this is not going after, if you go down to your local GoMart, Sheetz, whatever the case may be, and you buy products there, this is not what that is about. They're just, the state and the country are just being littered with these. And look, I have seen, I've never vaped or anything like that, but I have seen it before. In a previous life and some things that, some jobs that I had. And look, some of these things are marketed to look just like, for example, Cookie Monster, Captain Crunch, these flavors. And number one, that's copyright infringement. That's where it starts. It's copyright infringement. I don't think the people at Frito-Lay want to know that products are being sold like. And this is not just vaping. I'm kind of crossing over into the kratom category as well. That's part of it. But number two, any legitimate business that sells this, they want to follow the law, and many of them have said, and I know that Delegate McCormick and others talk to people that are following, the regulations, just saying, look, we want everybody to be on a level playing field. That's it, And if your vape shop, if you have a shop that specializes in that, if they're doing everything according to the law, they got nothing to worry about. This is not about outlawing vaping. This is about an issue that comes to kids, just like it was done years ago with kids and cigarettes and kids and alcohol and so on and so forth. And look, I don't have kids, but I'm also not totally naive to the fact that if kids want beer, they're going to get beer. If they want cigarettes, they're going to get it. Same with this stuff. But you got to do everything you can to try to prevent that. So I think it's a good bill that goes into effect today in the state of West Virginia. All right, going into effect in the not too distant future will be many of your favorite WVRC media stations are going to have the sounds of the Mountaineers. I'm talking about the actual live broadcast of the Mountaineers. It's kind of complicated, deals with attorneys and deals with contracts and so on and so forth. But the guy that knows all about it is the president of WVRC Media. He's George Pelletier, and he's going to join us when we come back. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia Hospitals. Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
In 1914, The same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! For a better us.
Welcome back to the show, 221. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia after the bottom of the hour break. Nothing but your calls and texts at 1-800-765-TALK, or you can text me, 304-TALK-304. Big announcement made on several Metro News stations, WVRC Media stations, earlier in the day, that on select station, the Mountaineers are back. George Pelletier is the president of WVRC Media, and he joins us now. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Dave. Good to be with you.
It's a pleasure to have you with us as well. The last time that you were on the show was when they surprised me with my Hall of Fame announcement. So I figured maybe today your call is to say, hey, they miscalculated and you're not going in the Hall of Fame.
They haven't come to their senses yet, Dave.
Big announcement earlier today, boss, about the Mountaineers. Break it all down for us.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very excited to announce that our company, WVRC Media, has formalized an agreement with Learfield Sports to become the affiliate for multiple markets across West Virginia. With this, we'll become the flagship stations here in Morgantown with one of our big FMs, WVAQ, as well as WAJR. And then we're also affiliating our stations in Clarksburg and in Elkins, in Cumberland and Kaiser, and then also in Martinsburg and Berkeley Springs. We had an opportunity. We started talking with the university and with Learfield, quite honestly, 2-3 years ago, to potentially reunite the athletic department at WVU with some of our stations. And over the course of time, we've been able to execute and get that done. So very, very excited for all of our people, and then also the communities and the audiences, and obviously our advertisers as well.
And again, it's a big announcement, and it's major news for Mountaineer fans everywhere. And I mean, when you look at the text that I know the guys got on Talk Line today, I haven't even had a chance to get. I'll get to all mine after 2:30, but text of congratulations and so on and so forth. But there was a lot of work that went into this, and it is a great partnership between West Virginia University and WVRC Media that pulled this whole thing off.
Yeah, it really has been, a unified effort between the university and WVRC Media, and then obviously the Learfield folks who have the rights to the games. And probably if there's one thing that I've heard more than any that since I've come to WVRC, it's when are you going to get the games back? And we've been working through that process, but now I think the great news is that if somebody's leaving Charleston on a crisp fall afternoon to come to Morgantown to watch the game, you'll be able to have FM coverage for most of that journey that'll be uninterrupted and sound great. So and really, no matter what direction you're coming from, whether it's coming from Martinsburg or you're coming from down in Elkins or over that area, you'll be able to pick up the games and pick up the pregame, the postgame, all of those type of things a little more, I guess, in a powerful perspective, because the FMs that we're bringing to the table are going to be pretty solid coverage.
And of course, the Mountaineers have several affiliates that aren't part of the WVRC family, and in some of the smaller towns, whatever. And that's not going to affect any of those. We're just talking about the stations that we own. I want to make sure that we're not taking them off the stations. We're just putting them on our station. So I want to make sure that people understand that. And the thing about it is, I think that people. One of the things that I have heard in talking to people is that they miss the quote unquote old days. And college, and let's face it, George, college athletics has changed. And anybody that wants it to be 1983 all over again, that's not going to happen. You and I both know that. However, there's still a place in the broadcasting market, I think, for stations that understand how important the Mountaineers are. And it's not just about the game broadcast. It's about everything that goes along with the game broadcast, from coaches' shows and promotions in the community, and bringing guys like Tony Caridi into town and Brad Howe and letting them sell the Mountaineers to people and talk about it. There's a whole lot more than just the game broadcast that goes into being a Mountaineer affiliate. And
that's actually what I'm as excited about as I am having the games, because WVU athletics, let's face it, it is a significant franchise in the state, the fan base. I mean, just look at what happened when the baseball team went to Omaha. I mean, it's like the entire state went there and became, kind of the champions from the fandom's perspective. And so from our perspective, the other days, the access that we'll now be able to bring to our audiences in the communities that we get the opportunity to serve is going to be invaluable. And I think that access, with being the flagship affiliates here, and then also having other stations that are also a part of this agreement, is going to allow us to really sort of step up that coverage that we really take pride in providing.
And what is our timeline here? I mean, when are Mountaineer fans going to be tuning over to our stations to catch the games?
With the first game that will happen this fall.
Okay.
So, when football season begins, that's the beginning of each athletic season, which just now ended with the baseball season coming to a close. And so, we'll have our stations. We're going to carry football, men's and women's basketball, and baseball, plus all the coaches' shows that will go along with that, plus press conferences and those type of things. So in those 5 or 6 markets, we'll be able to provide really, really extensive and comprehensive coverage of Mountaineer athletics.
George Pelletier, head of WVRC Media, I appreciate you being here and not taking back my Hall of Fame nomination. I appreciate that.
Anytime, Dave. And I thought you were going to ask me, you said you were earlier that why did I hire you?
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You don't want that. You don't really want that answer.
Well, I don't think you were here, and you didn't realize that I came with the.
I was going to say that you were like drapes, right?
Well,
you kind of came with the house.
What they said, I think, is when you came aboard as president, they said, "Yeah, we got it. We're in Morgantown. We're in Martinsburg, and we got this guy that does a show in Charleston," and then you just kind of continue from there.
Nah, I don't think so, buddy. Congratulations again on the Hall of Fame. Well deserved.
All right, George, appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave.
George Pelletier, president of WVRC Media. Now, in case you're wondering what stations we're talking about here, in case you may have missed the announcement, by the way, we're all over it on the website and all our social media as well. So starting this fall in Morgantown, you will catch the Mountaineer games on WAJR. And that's, of course, that's been the Mountaineer station, it seems like, for years. WAJR 1440 AM, 104.5 FM, and then on 101.9 WVAQ. Clarksburg, Bridgeport West, and Buchanan markets, 101.3 WBRB and 103.3 WKMZ. In Elkins, WDNE 98.9, and on WFBY, which is 93.5. In Cumberland Kaiser Market, it will be WCMD 1230 AM, WKLP 1390 AM, and 100.1 WVMD. So those are the stations that starting this fall, you will be able to listen to the Mountaineers. Now, as far as all the other stations go, there's lots of questions. You get into contracts and things like that. Not every station's have the same contracts with the university, and so that's just where we are as of right now, and we're excited about it. And look, people, you've listened to me long enough. I bleed green and white. Okay, I'm a Marshall guy. However, I'm a big believer in you can support both universities. They're both fine universities, and the Mountaineers are the big dogs in the state of West Virginia. We saw that with the with the College World Series, I should say. And so, another feather in our cap here. We're glad to have it. Long time coming. Keep listening for more to come soon. It's Metro News Midday. Open Line West Virginia coming up. Stay with us.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Aldous Joe Hansel with you here. A little change in the forecast for us today. Remain focused and take your necessary precautions for an extended stretch of well above average heat and humidity. A heat wave underneath a strong ridge, heat dome in place today. Eastern Panhandle and central and western areas of the state, heat advisories and extreme heat warnings for an extended stretch. Today, we're up to an extreme heat risk in some western areas of the state, including Charleston. That heat risk goes up to extreme when the heat and humidity is either rare and or prolonged. Likely dry today. Some patchy fog in the mornings with some very warm lows, too, with little to no relief during those overnight lows. Had a high 92, low at 71 in Charleston yesterday. That was 6 degrees above average yesterday. The temps and the humidity will generally still be here or increase in the days ahead. Our extreme heat warning in Charleston lasts until 10 p.m. Friday. Flies here by forecast. It starts at home. Many of these cities here have concerns with heat, too. Washington, D.C., 102 on Thursday, 103 Friday. Looking ahead on the 4th of July in D.C., they're forecasting 101. That would be their hottest 4th of July on record, so we'll see how that shapes up. Northern Panhandle, you have an extreme heat warning as well. Low to upper 90s for the highs, but higher with the heat index. The heat index value is potentially listed up to 108 in Charleston. Eastern Panhandle, you have heat advisories today. Extreme heat watches for Thursday, Friday. Central western areas, extreme heat warnings. Take those proper precautions with the heat. Huntington, you're near 97 for your high today. Peak heat index listed up to 108 in the warning. Charleston, upper 90s through Friday. Still hot and humid for the 4th. And watching a chance of some showers and storms that may favor the evenings and overnights. 95 on Saturday, 73 Saturday night. And still some 90s in there with chances of showers and storms for Sunday and Monday.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
On the next State of Minds.
We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
(1-800-QUIT-NOW).
Today's
A
Metro
message from the
News
Centers for
television
Disease Control and
forecast is
Prevention.
brought to you.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
It's a Wednesday afternoon. It is Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open line West Virginia. What's on your mind? 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story, WVNRich.com. A video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank. Proud to be investing in the future of West Virginia. Text says, I hope all these people screaming on Facebook about Becky Pepper Jackson will remember they are still talking about a kid here. I agree with the court's decision. Now leave BPJ alone, says a texter. Yeah, I think that's my opinion. In my opinion, only what's kind of got lost in this whole argument in the Supreme Court, coming down yesterday with their decision. And it made, of course, national news. I mean, it was lead story when I was driving into work yesterday morning on ABC Radio News. Before it happened, it hadn't happened yet. At the end of the day, you can think however you want to think about the particular athlete, but let's just remember, and I just don't want that to get lost in all this, that no matter what you think, it's still a kid. Still a kid we're talking about. And you can, as I said on the show yesterday, folks, you can agree with the decision that the Supreme Court made, or you can disagree with it, but don't take it out on the kid. I mean, just don't be that person. Just don't. I agree with the texter. Text says, bravo to the Supreme Court for finally standing up for common sense. Text, $370 million surplus, but we can't find money for schools, says a texter. Why no Charleston area coverage for the Mountaineers on WCHS? Well, again, it's complicated, and I'm not an attorney, and I'm certainly not a broadcast attorney. But there are contracts, and their contracts are not just for 1 year; they're for several years. And so, the list that we gave for the Mountaineers, the ones that will be switching over to our stations, that's what we have now. But there are contracts that go, it could be a couple of years left on a contract, could be a year. I don't know. I'm not part of those negotiations, but it's not as simple as just going in and saying, okay, the Mountaineers are going on all of our stations. That's not the way it works, because you have contracts that were signed years ago that could be an 8-year contract or a 10-year contract or whatever the case may be. So hope that answers your question. Another question along the same lines. I think we answered that. Appreciate everybody asking about us here. Here in Charleston. Text says, next time you have the governor on, can you ask him if there's any chance they may overturn the state title in the shot put? Says the text. I don't. Again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Opinion only on my part. I don't know that that's going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, at this point, it may be just a let's just move on type thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's up to the parties that be and not me. Text say, yesterday was a great day for discrimination in West Virginia. Congratulations, Republicans. Your bullying of a child worked. 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. You can text 304-TALK-304. Text, a Charlestonian who has to force their way through the traffic with the bike races, regatta, and now this circus at the Capitol. I can't wait till summer and ends and this crap is over, says the text. Well, then you can complain about the snow and the ice. Look, I understand, and last week I handled a lot of phone calls with the bike championship, USA Pro Road Nationals that came through Charleston, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and people were complaining about that then. And look, it's the capital city of West Virginia, all right? And I'll go ahead and throw this in there for other larger cities in West Virginia, be it Morgantown, be it Huntington, be it Martinsburg, Wheeling, whatever. There are certain things that come along with being in a larger city, a large by West Virginia standards, okay? And yes, we have two major events going on in the capital city at the same time. The CCC, and I just love that. And Amanda hadn't heard that. I actually educated her on something today. It's called the CCC, Capital City Celebration. It's going on at the Capitol. And you got Regatta going on. Regatta made its return a few years ago. Brings a lot of money into the city. And these two events are going to be going on at the same time. They both start tomorrow. Matter of fact, I do want to throw this out. I got to get the information on it because I have it saved somewhere in all the stack of papers that I have here. There's actually going to be not really a regatta event tonight, but sort of a regatta event. The USA is playing in the World Cup, and they're going to have that broadcast on the big screen down there. I'll get all the information on the other side of the break, and I'll get that to you in case you happen to be in Charleston. But look, it's a great thing when you have stuff going on. And we got a lot going on in Charleston. And if you are coming to Charleston, just in case you may have missed it, I do want to make sure everybody knows that there are going to be free shuttles, free air-conditioned shuttles, the air conditioning being more important than what the free part is. So if you don't want to get in the traffic around the Capitol, you don't want to get in the traffic downtown Charleston, coming from Regatta, coming for CCC, or coming for both, KRT, the local transit company here in Charleston, is offering free air-conditioned shuttles. You can get on them at Patrick Street Plaza in Charleston or at Laidley Field, and they run about every 30 minutes. They can hold about 30 people. I don't want to get them in any kind of trouble. I don't know exactly how many, but KRT Director Sean Hill was on with me on the local show in Charleston this morning and said about 30 people. I mean, because they're not going that fast. They can't because it's Charleston with two major events going on at the same time. And just throwing this out there, do you think that there might be some bodies in Charleston in a couple of nights when Bobby Brown is playing at the exact same time Alabama is? There are going to be a few people. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Echoing another text, finally a verdict on the side of sanity for the Supreme Court. Text said, I think for the people coming to the Capitol for the governor's carnival, he should hand out bottles of brown water, the kind we're forced to drink, just to give visitors a true taste of West Virginia. And look, we had the governor for 2 segments during the noon hour day. I invite you to go back and listen to that if you want to. And he took the questions that we asked him about, the surplus in the state and so on and so forth. And, it's a state with problems. It's just every state has problems. I agree. But it would be nice, Pollyanna of me, to say maybe it'd be nice if we could just, for a moment, a day or two, say happy birthday to America. Just saying. Text, will those Mountaineer games be televised? Well, that's not that you don't talk to us about us. That's something that you probably need to talk about with, the ESPNs, ESPN Pluses of the world, not us. Now, if it's high school you want to talk about, we can talk about that with Metro News Television. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text, governor's a liar. If there's all this money for school, why are we closing schools and counties don't have funds to operate? 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. You can text 304-TALK-304. I do want to remind you that it's hot. Just in case you didn't know, just want to throw it out there because I hope Dave Wilson is listening right now because it's one of his pet peeves. But yeah, it's hot. It's real hot. So in order to follow the weather, you don't need to be Brian Hughes, but it helps. Why don't you do this for me? Why don't you download the Metro News Television app and check out Brian on all of your connected devices, not just Brian, but also his team of meteorologists, Metro News Television, and follow along on Facebook as well. Meteorologist Brian Hughes is we call him Admiral Brian Hughes this time of year because he's on his boat right now, but he's still doing the weather stuff. So follow him on social media and download Metro News Television. 2:43, we will take a break and come back after this. Stay with us.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Summer in West Virginia means open roads, blue skies, and endless possibilities. But if you don't have reliable wheels, getting to work or making it to a doctor's appointment can feel like an uphill climb. That's where Good News Mountaineer Garage comes in. We take donated vehicles, fix them up, and get them to fellow Mountaineers who need them the most. This summer, let's keep our community moving. Donate a vehicle today by calling 866-GIVE-CAR or visit goodnewsmountaineergarage.org. Donate a car, change a life.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
A vasectomy reversal is a much more complicated procedure than a vasectomy, using sutures that are essentially smaller than your eyelash to reconstruct anatomy. I do what I do to try to help the patients of West Virginia have kids.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
On the next State of Minds.
We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
Welcome back to the show. 12 away from 3 on a Wednesday afternoon. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS, WJLS in Beckley, WD&E in Elkins, WKMC Clarksburg, WVW Logan, WKLP in Kaiser, WEPM in Martinsburg, WSLW White Sulphur Springs, WAJR in Morgantown, WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling. A request, not a request, I guess, but a submission here for the lunch spot. Bob's Lunch in Moundsville. Great menu, home-cooked food. Make a point to stop there when I'm in the northern panhandle. It's outstanding. We will make a note of that. The lunch spot's a segment we do every Friday at 106 where it's just designed to spotlight great lunch spots. It doesn't have to be lunch. It could be dinner. It could be breakfast, whatever. Anybody serving great food, we want to hear about them in southern West Virginia, northern West Virginia, east, west, wherever you are. We want to know about it. Bakeries, fine restaurants, bars, whatever. We don't care. As long as they serve food. Drop us an email about that, midday@wvmetronews.com. It's midday@wvmetronews.com, or reach out to me on social media, which you should be following anyway. Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or at Dave870 on X. But we'll make a note of Bob's Lunch, Moundsville. Appreciate it. And I mentioned earlier about this World Cup watch party happening tonight in Charleston that is actually going to be Haddad Riverfront Park, and that is, of course, where a lot of the regatta stuff is going to be going on. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock tonight, and you can actually watch it on the big screen. So if you don't want to wait till tomorrow for the regatta, you can come down tonight, and they're going to start watching about 8 o'clock on the big screens at Haddad Riverfront Park to check out the USA in the World Cup. 1-800-765-TALK, the phone number, text 304-TALK-304. Text said, nice shot of the president, Dave. Your Trump derangement syndrome knows no bounds, does it? I read that, and I thought about I think maybe that may be in reference to the fact that I was we were talking earlier in the show about Victor Willis, the lead singer of the Village People, passing away. And we were talking about some of the songs of the Village People in the Navy, Macho Man, and YMCA. And then, you know, everybody knows YMCA. As I said, it's going to be played at colleges and parties and, you know, weddings and whatever, probably for the next 200 or 300 years. And I said that the president likes the song. That's all I said, and he does. I have questioned whether he knows the whole meaning behind the song. And look, somebody texted their morning show this morning and said, look, it's just a good time party song and it unifies people. Okay, that's fine. But I'm just saying that he likes the song, and I don't know that he fully 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK-304. Text says, great news, the Mountaineers are back on the right stations. Way to go. Text said that... that was the play that Larry Gross was talking about. Historically accurate, can you bring the show to Morgantown? Well, I will make sure that Mr. Gross gets that message. Text says, Delegate McCormick sounds like Jim Justice more than Jim Justice does. You know, somebody pointed that out to me one time. And look, I have known Delegate McCormick, you know, full disclosure, for a number of years. I mean, well before he ever got into politics, and good friend. But there's a little similarity there. There's a little similarity there. I'll give you that. Text says, can we please let the Omni Group or someone else not named Justice take over the Greenbrier? 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, I couldn't care less about the regatta or the governor's Ferris wheel. I'm going fishing and setting off my own fireworks at the lake. Well, you do you, and hope that the only thing that goes off is fireworks and not fingers. Text says, let's go Mountaineers and Metro News. Text says, bullying of a child? How about championing women's rights? Women should not compete against men. It's not fair. Look, I 100% agree with the Supreme Court decision yesterday. Unequivocally, I agree with the Supreme Court decision. The only thing I am saying is at the center of this is a child. And you can argue that you are for it or against it, whatever. I support, as I said earlier, I support the decision from the Supreme Court yesterday. I agree with it. However, from some of the things that I have seen since this controversy started online, quite frankly, from adults that should know better, bully the situation, don't bully the child. That's what I'm saying. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304, talk 304. Right decision, common sense decision came down for the Supreme Court yesterday, says a texter. Do you know why the Charleston market was not included in the addition of radio stations to the WVU broadcast? Because there is a contract with other companies. And these contracts they're not all up at the same time. Okay. And again, I was not part of the conversation. I'm just saying, I know that's the way broadcasting licensing and things like that work, and not all contracts are up at the same time. So no matter what sports league you're talking about. So as somebody who works out of the Charleston office, I can tell you that there are contracts with other entities in the market, and they come to an end at some point, and we'll see what happens then. But can't do anything till then. Text says, Dave, I have no ill will whatsoever towards Becky Pepper Jackson, and hope he gets his life straightened out. All right, that's a fair statement. Text says, loving the fact that WVU is back where it belongs. Our nightmare is over, Mountaineer fans. I didn't think that people, look, I knew people were passionate about the Mountaineers. I didn't know that many people were. Well, I should have known. I've been in this business for far too long. I should have known that this was going to be a popular decision on behalf of a lot of our listeners, and we appreciate that. Text says, if you aren't born here to American citizens, you don't belong here as a citizen, period. All right. And with that, we'll take a break, close it out. It's 2:54. Back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next State of Minds.
We cook West Virginian food is how we like to phrase it.
I knew that every time I would hear a story, and I would hear the same story, but it never got old, about what this meant to the family and how it was served and how special it was to be put on the table.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
West Virginia is home. It's where we work, live, and raise our families. At the heart of our communities are West Virginia hospitals and their compassionate caregivers. From life-saving treatments and emergency care to wellness support and screening services, we are improving your quality of life through extraordinary achievements and amazing results. West Virginia hospitals, Your health is the heartbeat of our communities.
3 guys before the game.
What did you know about Rich Rodriguez when he's named the coach?
I didn't know nothing about it. I was like, oh, this is college ball right here.
Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah.
Available on Metro News Television.
Ad Council.
Welcome back to the show. A couple of minutes away from 3 o'clock. Look who's here.
Shoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who negotiated the Mountaineers contract to come back to many WVRC media stations. It's Dave Weaver.
Are you not entertained?
Are
you not entertained?
I'm always entertained by you, big guy. I always, my first job in radio, 17 years old, still in high school. I worked 2 shifts a week on the long since dead WLOG radio in Logan, noon to 6 on Saturday, 6 a.m. to noon on Sunday. Saturday shift was when the fall got here, was running the Mountaineers, and that was the season of Major Harris, that 88 season that played for the Fiesta Bowl in 89. So as a 17-year-old kid sitting there in a small radio station in Logan, West Virginia, but everybody was listening, because not every game was on TV. It's pretty cool to know that I was in control of everything. And now I'm in control of absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it today.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit about it.
All right.
When I was a newspaper boy, I could walk my paper route in Bridgeport
Mhm.
without a radio and hear WVU's games.
Mhm.
Literally in the neighborhood. The
Yeah.
radios were so
Yeah.
loud.
Good times.
Yeah.
Great oldies. All right.
Good
Got to
times.
go. We got a hotline coming up on many of these same Metro News stations. Producer Stephanie Pauley, Ryan Nicholson, thank you so much. Amanda Barron and I back tomorrow at noon to do it all again. Stay cool. Have fun. I love somebody.